Welcome to the Lead Generation Masterclass. This masterclass consists of 3 sections. The first one is around the principles you need to follow to generate leads. The second section is around the resources that are available to help you follow those principles. And then we'll finish off with a 28-day lead generation challenge, which will be a roadmap to your next 5 clients. Let's get started. In the first section, we're going to walk you through the principles of generating leads in a gym, walk you through the difference between awareness and direct lead generation, and also talk you through how to manage rejection. So what are the principles you need to follow when generating leads? Firstly, we need to get a plan in place and make sure that we are following through with it. The best plans in the world are useless if we don't act on them. Secondly, it's generating leads at the times you want to fill slots. So if you have an 8 a.m. slot available, you need to be in the gym around that time to speak to the members that are training in the gym at that time. I know this sounds silly to mention, but I can't tell you how many PTs I've spoken to and I've coached that blew their mind when I told them this. Thirdly, it's always having a pipeline of new clients readily available to you. Even when you feel like you're fully booked, it's important that you are still generating leads once or twice a week just to have that active pipeline ready for when the inevitable happens and one of your clients does leave. Finally, and this for me is the most important one, is be yourself. Enjoy the process of meeting new members. Enjoy the process of trying different activities. As this is a big part of your business, especially at the start, it's important that you engage with it and enjoy it. Another thing to think about when generating leads is setting yourself realistic expectations. So a good way to do that is to follow the 1 in 5 rule. So for every 5 conversations you have with a member, you'll convert 1 into a free taster session. For every 5 taster sessions you deliver, you will have 1 new client. So if you can have 25 meaningful conversations, you're likely to get 5 taster sessions booked in, and at least 1 of those converting into a paying client. Now, this can vary based on the PT experience. I've seen brand new PTs to the industry and to that gym where their conversion rate is more around 1 in 10. Now, the key thing here is to understand where you are at personally and set yourself realistic expectations. A good way to plan your lead generation is to separate it into awareness and direct lead generation activities. So when we talk about awareness lead generation, we're solely focused on making members aware that we exist. And how we can do that is with simple activities like saying hello and goodbye at reception during peak times. And this can evolve into questions like how was your workout or what are you training today, which evolves into meaningful conversations and builds rapport with members. We're not selling anything here. We're not asking them to sign up to anything. We're simply just breaking the ice and building rapport with as many members as possible. So these need to be high volume activities so you can speak to as many members as you possibly can in a short space of time. The beauty of awareness lead generation is it helps you build confidence with approaching people and holding conversations. It also helps you build the skills to navigate a conversation to where you need it to go. So what you're doing here is just getting those reps in. Another key benefit of awareness lead generation is that when it comes time to your direct offering of a service, you've broken the ice with hundreds of members already, so there's a higher chance those members will engage with your activity. Moving on to direct lead generation. These are also going to be short and meaningful interactions. The only difference here is we are offering a service or looking to get a member signed up to a free taster session or consultation. It's important that these interactions are short, 1 to 2 minutes, so members are more inclined to stop and spend that time with us. If they think it will take 10, 15, 20 minutes to do that activity, they're less likely to stop. Also, making it meaningful is very important. So what value does that member get out of that interaction that's going to encourage them to sign up to what we're looking to offer? These activities should also be focused on your niche. So if you're a strength coach, these activities should be strength-based challenges, strength-based activities, or just starting strength-based conversations. If you're brand new to personal training and you haven't really identified your niche yet, that's not a problem. You can still focus this around general population, weight loss, muscle growth, etc. Just like awareness, we're trying to make these high volume activities, so speaking to as many members as we possibly can in a short space of time. We're looking to engage with those members, offer them value, and then get them converted into a free taster session, consultation, or signed up to a mailing list, whatever it is that you are offering at the time. Using the 1 in 5 rule, you can then set realistic expectations on what you will achieve in each of those activities and set a well-structured plan in place. So let's run through some examples of awareness and direct lead generation. So my top 3 awareness lead generation activities are highs and buys at reception. This can be very, very powerful and a high volume activity. It's, like I said before, just simply chatting to members at reception as they're coming and going, asking how their day was, asking what they're training today, asking how their workout was, just building rapport with those members. Another fantastic way to build awareness of your existence is by teaching group exercise classes. I know some PTs are adverse to this. However, it's my opinion, and also based on experience, it's such a strong way for you to build your brand and get members aware of your existence and how good you are as a coach. Another option is peak time gym interactions. Now, this is different to hello and goodbye at reception, because what we're going to do here is walk around the gym floor just chatting and interacting with members. So examples being someone's just about to offload some plates from a machine, you can go over and just offer to help them. So again, we're not offering any services here, we're just going over, helping them, having a bit of a chat, and then walking away. So doing this for 1 to 2 hours at peak time just spreads the awareness that you exist. When it comes to direct lead generation, this is where we're looking to get members signed up to a service or a free taster session. There are a few options that I would consider. Firstly, just offering a free session at reception can be very powerful and is a high volume activity. So how I would do this is just as members are coming in or leaving, just saying, hey, I'm chatting to all our members, checking if you've booked your free PT session yet. They'll say yes or no. If they say no, that's great, they haven't booked it. Let's spend 30 seconds together and get that booked in. And you take it from there. A body MOT stand is always a good idea as well to generate leads and offer value. What you can do here is set up a stand where you're offering 1 to 2 metrics that you can test. So that could be blood pressure, body fat percentage, a functional movement screening, something that will take you 1 to 2 minutes. During that time, you can have a chat to the member, maybe try and offer them a free taster session to give them a more advanced version of that body MOT. But at the very least, you can get an email address from them so you can email them their results and some suggestions on what they can do to improve on that metric. Another option is a free PT jar. Now, this is something you can set up and is an always-on version of lead generation, where a member can just fill out a form and put it in the jar if they're interested in signing up to a free PT session. And finally, another option would be a warm-up station. This is where you can set up a small station near the entrance to the gym. So as members are coming in, you can just offer them a free 2 to 3 minute warm-up. That way you can ask them what they're training today, give them a warm-up that's specific to their workout, show your value, and ask them if they'd like to spend more time with you in a free PT session. When we get to section 2, I'll be running through 30 lead generation activities. So this is just a handful of options. We've got plenty more to go through at a later date. We've spoken about the principles you need to follow to generate leads, and we've run through some examples of how you can generate those leads. So let's talk about now the biggest thing that stops personal trainers from following through with their plan. And that is the fear of rejection. I've coached over 100 personal trainers, and the majority of them struggle with lead generation because they fear rejection from that member. But the reality is the rejection isn't that bad. What is the worst that can happen if a member says no to your free service? The worst case scenario here is they now know you exist and they now know you're offering a free taster session service or some other service that you offer. So they could come back in a month's time or 6 months' time when they do need that service, or they might need another service that they can then inquire about. Or they have a friend or family member that also needs a service so that they can refer to you because they now know you exist and they now know you're offering that service. So the key takeaway here is to not fear rejection. You need to embrace it because the worst case scenario is they now know you exist and they now know you're offering a service. If you spend time doing your highs and buys at reception, high volume activities, you'll get your reps in, you will get the confidence you need to approach more and more members, and you'll soon understand that there's nothing to fear. I would suggest checking out a TED Talk called What I Learned from 100 Days of Rejection. So I'll put the picture on the screen so you can find it. Just drop that into Google and you'll find it on YouTube pretty quickly. This is a fantastic TED Talk it's 11 or 12 minutes, and it covers the mindset behind rejection. What's coming up in part 2? We've got a run through of our 30 lead generation activities, a document that's going to help you design your perfect week as a personal trainer, a document that's going to help you plan your lead generation going forward, also a tracking and reviewing document, and then finally maximizing the return on your lead generation with a mailing list. So I'll see you in part 2.